please stand for the playing of our national anthem, conducted by the Director of Bands, Mr. Jason Graham.
Well, everybody, welcome to the 2019 Appreciation Concert. You're here, we made it. Truthfully, in the season, I have a lot of moments of performances and activities that we do, which are a lot of fun and enjoyable. This concert in particular has always been a favorite of mine, and it's great to be able to come inside at the end of the season and just perform for you so much of the music that has been a part of this season. And make that the focus, because at the end of the day, music is the focus, and that is what we're here for, that's what we're all about, and this concert is our way of saying thank you to all of you while showcasing that aspect, the music. So, without any further ado, we're going to hop right into it, and I will just say at the very beginning, truthfully, there are so many people to thank. We would be here hours and hours and hours for me to thank each individual, and when we get to a moment in the program where you were involved, please stand and be recognized if you were on a team that helped something out at some point in the season. Because for us to be successful, it truly does take all hands on deck. And we have one of the strongest, most supportive communities, booster groups, and parents of any band anywhere. And thank you, parents, and thank you, boosters, immediately right when we start for just being so awesome and so supportive and supporting your children here in this program and helping us to make great music and great performances. So right away, a huge thanks to you, parents and boosters, and for all your support. Thanking some individuals, if you could please hold your applause to the end as I go through the names here. First, of course, our administration here at Grove City High School, Mr. Brian O'Shea, head principal, Mrs. Holly Gilbert, Dr. Chris Sander, and Mr. Zach Wire, who are extremely supportive and helpful, and we're so thankful to have them here as our administration. At the district level, Dr. Bill Wise, our superintendent, and school board members, and if you were here today, I saw at least one of them, Mindy Garford, president, Robert W. Reagan, the senior vice president, Lee Schreiner, Kathy Johnson, and David D'Onofrio. We please thank the administration and the school board for all of their wonderful support. Of course, we have a very supportive faculty here as well, and we want to thank our faculty for supporting us. And also in the audience today, I believe our mayor, Ike Stage, is here. Ike, you're in the audience? Yes, Mr. Stage, thanks for being here today. Ike is a huge supporter of the bands, and we're so thankful to him and all his support over the years, and from the Rose Parade and helping us out with jackets and just being a wonderful support to the ensemble and just a great person. So again, Ike, thanks for being here today. We really appreciate your attendance. Thank you, sir. At this time, I would like to just run through all the committees and the chairs of people who helped make things possible. And again, if you served on that committee, please stand and be recognized with the chair. Running our 5K Run Like a Greyhound, Melissa Forney and Amber Pinkerton and their team, would you please stand and be recognized? Our alumni relations this year, who put together a great homecoming in a very short amount of time and did an awesome job doing so. Steve and Amy Reinhardt, would you please stand? You all know what's coming this weekend, right? 1, 2, 3. Bazaar. Yes, the Fall Bazaar is this weekend. It's usually 2 weeks from now, but because everything's a week later because of football and everything else, it's this weekend. And it's our biggest, most successful fundraiser of the year. Both the spring and the Fall Bazaar are responsible for over 40% of the Band Boosters' general operating budget for each year. They are very critical for our success. And leading up the bazaar is Mr. Tom Deladuca. Would you please stand and recognize? In our booster apparel, you all look great wearing the booster blues, and that is Ms. Kim Short. Would you stand and recognize Ms. Short? Booster apparel. One of our great fundraisers that makes money for your account all year round is the candy bar sale led by Tracy Woods. Ms. Woods, would you stand and recognize? Working with me directly on chaperones, and we need a lot of chaperones every year with all the travel that we do, and this person has been just outstanding working with me and working with all the adults, making sure we have great parents there at each and every event, Ms. Julie Smith. Let's thank her for the chaperones. All chaperones, would you please stand? If you chaperone an event, please stand and be recognized. Been so impressed with our concession stand and all the updates that have been happening there, from the ability to accept credit cards, to the structural changes, to the new items that we have there, and it all means more dollars at the end of the day for the ensemble and the boosters of the program, and so for that we're very thankful. Led up by Cyree Chris and Audrey McDonald. Would you stand and be recognized? And the concession crew team. Stand up for all the team. In fundraising, and the overall fundraising is a huge job, and Olivia Munders has done an amazing job these last few years putting that together and having an array of things available. Would you please thank Olivia and the fundraising team for all of their great work. We're all going to get a little hospitality when you leave here today, and that's thanks to Tracy Cutshall and her team, the hospitality crew. Would you please stand and recognize hospitality? This year, and I'm always a little bummed, I can speak frankly. We never have that many bands that come, and there's a lot of reasons for that, one of which being we have a grass field. Number two, there's like 5 feet from the front of the field to the bleachers, and almost every other school has turf and much more space, and it's hard to compete with other venues like that. And we had 4 ensembles plus us being there for a total of 5, and you would think that we would struggle to even make a dime on that event. But thanks to the work of Michelle Gerald and her team, we made over $8,000 that day. Just for 4 days, that's incredible. I will say, most people would say when you host a band contest in OMBA that for every 1 band that comes, you can expect around $1,000 in profit. So we more than doubled that with 8,000 and 4 bands. That's astonishing. So again, thanks to Michelle and the whole crew for making that day really great and special. Very busy day as well with the Arts in the Alley in the morning, yes. Lots of people working hard. Moving on, our jazz dinner dance coming up at the end of the year, and we also have the spaghetti supper coming up in the next month, led by Chantel Harani. Would you please stand? Chantel and the jazz dinner dance. Another one of our massive fundraisers, and when I say massive, I mean it generates well over $100,000 that goes only into your pockets. Boosters don't even see a dime of that. That is the money that goes into the family accounts, and that's the Levy fundraising. It is our bread and butter. Without that Levy event, we would just not be able to give you as many opportunities to raise money. We know that next year is going to be a large trip somewhere, so the ability to have that is a great way to make money for the account. I would like to have the Levy team led by Jamie New. Please stand and be recognized for all of their hard work. 220 plus kids out in the elements. There's sure to be some medical concerns here and there, and we're so thankful to have a great team of medical people on board, led by Katrina Grove and her team. Would you stand, our medical team? Leading up the charge for booster membership and making sure we have all of our I's dotted, our T's crossed, Debbie Wolf. Debbie, would you stand, please? get freshman families a direct source of information of other families who have done what they've done and try to guide them along this process. You freshman parents who are sitting here, think about where you were in May and June versus where you are today. Your kids would say the same. Lots of growth, lots of just learning how things go here, and the mentoring program has been a great way to try to get that information out earlier. And that's led up by Kelly Long and her team. Would you stand and please recognize the mentoring team? Well, with the building being all closed up over the summer, pictures were certainly a challenge this year, much more so than they normally are. But we were thankful that we were able to get them in and still have it all worked out. And that was thanks to the work of Tammy Short and her team. Could you please stand and recognize our picture crew team? Also want to, of course, thank Larry Lee, who does an outstanding job taking those photos. Thank you, Larry. Long-time support for him. Each year is the Pinnacle March, and it's a wonderful fundraiser, and it's just a lot of fun to go there and perform for everybody on that beautiful golf course. And that's been led up by Dana and Dave Rutan, who do an outstanding job, and their team. Would they please stand and recognize Dana and Dave? All those instruments you see in the back needs moved around, needs put up on a trailer, needs moved from A to B, back and forth and again, and that takes a lot of support and parent volunteers to make that happen, and that's led up by Brian Oyster, our pit crew. Brian and his team, many people on this team, would you please stand? Our plumes each year are head up, we have new parents to take care of getting those organized, lots of plumes to give out and receive, and they're very sensitive to the weather. We have a great mom and team who takes care of that. Would all of the plume team stand up, led by Heather Lawrence? As I mentioned before, the Santa's Swingin' Spaghetti Supper is a jazz band event. It's in December. I think it's the second Thursday in December, and it's led by Gary and Mary Russell. Would they please stand and be recognized, and we thank them for their efforts. Another great fundraiser. If you don't know about Script, you need to find out about Script. It's a very easy way to make some money for your account. If you're already going to shop somewhere, it's basically prepaid for that amount of money, and then you get a percentage back in your account. Julie Smith, who runs that, can tell you more, and it's a great way to make money. Thank you, Julie, and the Script team. Very appreciative of Melissa Forney and all of her efforts on social media, making sure that everything's out there for you to see. When we send stuff, she gets it right up on that Facebook page immediately just to get the information out. Melissa Forney, would you stand and recognize social media? Street concerts, again, one of our great events each summer that do a great amount of fundraising for the ensemble. Led up again this year by Elizabeth Seeley Newkirk. Would you please stand and recognize? We know you're going to miss it. Transportation, man, what a job that is. Just move this group from one place to the next. I mean, just going to the NAVs takes a lot of effort just to go down the street. About the same as going anywhere else. And we have an amazing transportation director, and again, tons of people who serve on this team. So with Ken Yao, who's our director of transportation, and all of the people who help move the ensemble, please stand and be recognized at this time. Mr. Yao. Likewise, our uniforms, there's a lot to manage. 2 different sets of uniforms, all the parts and pieces that go with it, and managing all the students and helping them be prepared for their performances. Led up by Dana Rutan, also Tesla Nudie and Kim Short, who support her, and others who have either made alterations or made items for students. If you are on the uniform team or have done any kind of help there, would you please stand and thank Mrs. Rutan for her leadership in this area. Our volunteer coordinator just kind of helps get the interest in the word out and make sure that we get great people and to fill all these positions. That's Steve Colvard. Steve, would you stand and recognize him? Even on a day where it felt like 31 degrees. The water team was there with the cups filled, ready to go on Saturday afternoon, and they've been there for every other rehearsal that's been hot and at camp, and anytime we need to have them on a parade route or at a performance, they are there to help get the kids water so they can be at their best. That's led up by the Longs and their team. When they stand, please remember When I came here, Charms did not exist. The website was functional, but so much of the behind-the-scenes technology that drives the information has updated so much over the years, from Charms through the website, and Tom Deladuca does an outstanding job on that website, getting it organized, getting it updated. Would you please thank him for all the effort on that? All right, so those are all of our chairs, but I have many more to thank here, so we'll keep kind of going down this list. First of all, I would like to thank anybody here who has been a financial supporter, either by private or anonymous donation, businesses who are here who have done the same, street concerts. If you have donated or given to the ensemble in any way, shape, or form in the program, I'd like to recognize you at this time, and you're certainly welcome to stand or stay sat down if you want to remain anonymous. But can we all thank the private donors, in which we get a great amount of support from the community and businesses in the us and helping that event happen each year and being very flexible. Cypress Grove City Church, and the NAS. And I'd like to thank especially Brian Leland, who allowed us to use their practice facility at the NAS several times this year. It was great with that. Also the big meeting in the summer, helping us organize that. And a former band parent, Deb McKay, who was wonderful working with us this year when we were told, oh, by the way, you're not going to be able to use the high school this summer at all. And you can imagine the shock that was when we heard that, and what are we going to do? And the NAS was so gracious to open their doors and say, we will host you, Cypress Grove can host you, and Deb McKay helped make all that happen, and she made it happen for $0. And that is awesome. So thank you to Deb McKay, for being so supportive. Of course, we'd like to thank Jim Rock and Rock's Trailers, who does a great job helping us out with the transportation, from discounts and repairs to inspections to storing. Both of them are also former band boosters. Would we please thank the Rocks for being continuously supportive of the Grove City Band. We'd also like to thank Zanzi's Pizza and Jolly Pirate Donuts, and that's the Reinhardts who run Jolly Pirate, for giving us some well-needed food and sugar when we need it. Thank you to Zanzi's and Jolly Pirate. Individuals I would like to call out and thank. Southwestern City Schools Transportation and Tim Cox. I don't know of a man who works harder and does more for the band than that guy when we're talking transportation directors. He is, anytime we need something, he is right there for us. He anticipates things. He helps us get the buses. I'll tell you just a very quick story of last year, which I think accentuates this. There was a moment where something happened and buses didn't get on the roster, and it was for district band contest in March. We needed 8 buses to make that happen. And it was 9:30 at night on Friday, and the first band had to be at school at 9 a.m. on Saturday, and there were no buses for the event. And so I called Tim, and I said, hey, we got to figure something out here. He said, give me a few minutes. 5 minutes later, he calls me back. This is at 9:30 at night on a Friday, and says, we got 8 buses and 8 drivers, they'll be there. Good to go. I mean, that just says everything. That man is awesome, and he's so supportive of the band. Please thank Southwestern and Tim Cox. We wouldn't be able to get better at what we do if we weren't able to watch what happens. I'm talking about in the marching band. The ability to hear and listen, and I just said hear and listen. Okay, right. Both of those things. And to watch, to be able to see that each week allows the band to understand what are they doing from the performers, from the audience perspective. What do we need to do to get better? And Mark Bungard films those contests for us and allows us to be able to see those. Many of you get to watch them again on the YouTube time and time again. And yes, I know you all want to see the VOA show again, but we will let you know there will be a day, we will definitely have a moment where we say, hey, come one come on, we're going to put it up somewhere here so you can watch it. Unfortunately, due to copyright restrictions, we really can't put it on YouTube, and that's a DOA thing. We don't want to get in trouble with that. But we will show it again so you get a chance to watch it. But we thank Mark Bungart for being great with all the filming. Last night, and we do this every year, we've been doing it for many, many years, Elizabeth Newkirk and Cheryl Burton put on a dinner for all of the workers at OMEA State Finals, and they did that last night from the very early hours of the morning all the way into the late hours of the evening, and they fed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and they loved the food so much that they ran out before the end of the night. We went to go get some, and it was all gone. But can we thank the Newkirks and Cheryl for being great with providing food for OMEA State Finals. I'd also like to say thanks again to Tom Deladuca one more time for helping with all of his sound equipment. We have grown so much in that area over the years, and he's been very helpful as a go-between between what the needs are of the program and working with the company to get those pieces of equipment and then get it all hooked up and get it working and making sure it's functional for everything we do. So thank you, Tom, for all the work on sound, power. All right, we had a little prop this year, you may have noticed, just a small little stage prop. And the designing and the building and the moving of that took an army of people to make it happen, and we need to thank them for their efforts in making that happen. This idea came in May of last year. We had a couple people come up and look at what we were doing, look at the field, get some measurements, and it just kind of happened. And it was all because of the minds of so many of the parents here who got together and figured out how are we going to do it, what's it going to look like, how is it going to get stored, how is it going to move, what do we need to be able to detach, and oh, by the way, we have to set it up in 90 seconds and tear it down in 60 because we don't want to get a penalty. And they made all of that happen, and not once was there ever even close to be an issue with any kind of timing penalties, and they did wonderfully. So I'd like these people to stand and be recognized. From a design standpoint, Jay Thrun led that effort. Jay, would you please stand? Also on the design crew, we have Ken Yao, Steve Kolar, Brian Oyster, and John Mannering, who would all stand and be recognized. I want to say thank you to Jay, who opened up his mechanical shop down in Columbus, and all of the construction and everything that needed to happen happened at that shop, and that's his private business, and to allow us to do that was awesome. Thank you, Jay, for leading that out. In addition to Jay and his equipment and facilities, there were many people who just put their hands on it and built the thing, from putting in screws to sanding and painting and everything else. If you helped build the prop at Jay's place, would you please stand and be recognized for all of your time and energy, those who built the prop. And then once we had a design, once we had a build, we had to figure out how to actually use it in context, and for that we had a team that kind of dealt with the logistics of transport, travel, setup, and tear down. That was led by Joe Gachetta and an army of people there as well. Joe, would you please stand, and anybody who was on the crew that moved that prop back and forth be recognized at this time. Mr. Gachetta, right back there. And Lisa, stay standing. Lisa, I believe on your own, took care of all of the black skirting that went in the front of the prop to make it look even more professional. Thank you, Lisa, for all your efforts. Well, thank you for giving me a moment to just thank many people, and I know there are more. It really does take a village to make all of this go every year, and we are so thankful, and the students are thankful for all the effort you put in behind the scenes to let them be successful. Yes, students, we thank the parents and the boosters for all of it. All right, are you ready for the music now? We're going to get to the music. This time, we want to take you back to the beginning of our season. Here to help us remember some of those early moments, please welcome the announcer and voice of the Grove City High School Marching Band, Mr. Dave Jarrell.
The 20th Marching Band began to take shape last June as the freshman class of 2023 gathered at Rookie Days. Here, they started learning their left foot from their right foot, and all the marching and maneuvering that they would use on the field show that they would learn in the coming weeks. The end of June brought the band's first outing as they performed at the Westland Area Business Association's Independence Day Parade, followed quickly by the 4th of July Upper Arlington Parade. At this time, Mr. Walter Riesenberg, who is in his 17th year as assistant band director and percussion instructor here at Grove City, will come to the podium as the band performs its two parade tunes, God Bless America and Semper Fidelis. We'd like to introduce you to all the instrument families that make up the magnificent sounds of Grove City High School Marching Band. Introducing the Grove City High School Marching Band by sections. First, we have the tubas, the largest and lowest sounding instrument in the band. And bass trombones. Next, we have the rest of the trombones, baritones and tenor saxes, which provide this important countermelody. basses, and horns that lend this middle voice to the band. Additionally, a large group of flutes and clarinets add this part to our arrangement. Next up, we have the piccolo, which is the smallest and highest instrument in the band. Adding in the second and third trumpets adds this important harmony part. Then, the first trumpets add a strong melody. No band would be complete without a percussion section. Our outstanding color guard and Ford field commanders add a spectacular visual complement. Put them all together, and you have the unique sights and sounds of the Grove City High School Marching Band.
All right, at this time, I would like to take a moment to introduce our field commanders for this season. If they can please stand and be recognized. They are seniors, Shelby Brown, senior Brendan Kolar, senior Jessica Means, and junior Sophie Hurston. No marching band would be successful without our great leadership in this area. Coming from the front, these students need to be able to get up every single day and help make happen what happens on the field, and be musical leaders as well as social leaders and everything else. And these four have been outstanding in that role. This year, I also wanted to be able to introduce a couple other staff members that we've been fortunate to have with us who have been with us the entire season and have done outstanding work with individuals and sections of the band. At this time, I would like to introduce this person that worked with the Field Commanders, a Grove City graduate, Mr. Jacob Stucker. Would you please thank him? And would you please thank all four of the Field Commanders on an outstanding year in directing and leading the ensemble. Mr. Jarrell, back to you.
And now, after our outstanding state finals performance last night, we'd like to present you one final time this year, our 2019 competition show, Rhapsody. Most of you have spent the past 3 months watching this show develop from its modest beginnings into something spectacular. Perhaps many of you heard the first sounds of this program in your own home as our students began to practice and memorize all the music throughout the summer and early fall. And I can certainly tell you, it has become something spectacular. Rhapsody is a compilation of 8 different rhapsodies and features every section of the band. The first movement of this show includes rhapsodies from Franz Liszt, Brahms, Vaughan Williams, and Rachmaninoff. Please enjoy Drill 1.
drill. And we're very happy to feature many of our women there in the sections who perform wonderfully up on the stage as part of that drill. Introducing a few more staff members working with the flutes and saxophones this year were 2 Grove City graduates. Anna Montgomery, who's currently a music teacher here in Southwestern, working with the flutes. Ms. Montgomery. And a soon-to-be music teacher graduating from Ohio State next year, Nick Young, working with the saxophone. I'm very fortunate here at Grove City to work with such wonderful people and educators and a team. My first job was me in a mirror, pretty much. That was the team. And to come here and be able to work with wonderful educators and be able to do more for the students is really a treat. And I'd like to introduce a few of them to you now. Ms. Lobsher, of course, has done an outstanding job helping to organize and run this program. But most importantly, she's a fantastic educator, and we're super thrilled to have her here at Grove City. She's just doing a great job. In her second year here, would you please help me thank and welcome Ms. Hannah Lobsher. The show certainly was designed a little differently this year in terms of just how the drills were put together and where certain things were. And this year the percussion feature was both in the first movement and in the last movement. We did it twice, and it could not have been possible without an outstanding percussion director in his 17th year, as has been said, 17 and counting. I'm excited when it's up to 20, it's getting there. Right, you're welcome. Would you please help me congratulate and welcome, and for being just super awesome at percussion and all things percussion, Mr. Walt Riesenberg, Director of Percussion. In addition, Walt also had a couple people helping him out this year, all season long. We'd like to thank Blaine Faraday, who came and worked with us often with the drum line, and also Donnie Ross, who took over and kind of helped the front ensemble and really make that his own this year. So thanks to Donnie and Blaine. Would you please thank them for us as well? And now back to our contest show and the second movement.
The second movement is Variation 18, Rhapsodies on Themes of Paganini. This movement features Penelope Roth on piano and Abby Cosman on alto saxophone. Please enjoy Drill 2.
We hear it for our soloists again, Abby Cosman and Penelope Rock. It is certainly not easy to get up in front of this ensemble to the crowd and do those moments, and they did it absolutely wonderfully this season. And I want to especially call out Penelope on the piano to have to sit down and play, use all 10 fingers in the freezing bitter cold of last night, and to be able to get that to work. It's a lot of effort and skill that goes into that. And all the soloists were certainly outstanding this year, but I wanted to pay special mind to Penelope and how hard she worked getting the piano to be awesome. So Penelope, great job on it. Here's the second movement, in addition to featuring our great soloist, also features the fantastic card. This is due to the fine teaching of our flag instructor, Miss Emily Faraday, and her assistants, Chelsea Smith and Jessica Story, as well as summer help from Miss Jo Noble-Prude, who's the play corps instructor at the school up north. Would you please help me in recognizing Emily Faraday and her great staff for all their work with the Guard this season. Before we get into the rest of our contest show here, we're going to slip back into a little football Friday night and have Dave continue on here with some of our football tunes. Mr. Gerald.
Yes, we'll bring you the final movement of our competition show a little later in the program, but first, let's go back to Football Friday Night. A new song this year's football repertoire is made famous by the artist Cardi B. With an up-tempo Latin feel, please welcome Miss Lobster to the podium as the band plays I Like It. For the halftime homecoming show, the band performed Hang On Sloopy. We were sad that the Grove City High School alumni in the Ohio State University Marching Band could not be at homecoming this year, but it was great having them at the last Friday game. Mr. Riesenberg takes the podium and leads the band in Ohio's rock song, Hang On Sloopy. aren't stripped dogs. They played a song made famous by the Ohio State University marching band, La Regiment. In addition to being used for homecoming and stripped dogs, this song has been played to inspire the offense to another first down and has been a Grove City High School marching band tradition since 1991. For Friday night high school football, where the Greyhound Band took center stage to pump up the crowd. Our percussion section was a vital part of building enthusiasm at every game. Here they are to recreate the end zone experience with Coda. also gets the team and the stadium fired up with the playing of One. The next song is one of our great defensive tunes that we may have borrowed from the state up north. We know this helped the Dogs stop the opposition at least a couple of times. This is Temptation. The band's arsenal of defensive songs includes Mark, the Bringer of War. In short, it's from Gustav Holst's orchestral suite, The Planets. Of course, performed with a touch of Grove City flair. Here is Mars. An exciting part of a football experience is the band and audience support. Greyhound fans, thanks Tom, join in as the band performs the Hey Cheer. Football's repertoire was two selections that we often used when the team was on offense. First is Let's Go Dog 3 times. A short stand tune that we added a few years ago to help pump up the team is Let's Go Hounds. We're going to play this one twice. band has a great relationship with NBC4 and were featured at the first Football Friday news show at NBC Studios. Here is Football Friday Night. Our next tune is new this year and comes from the pen of John Williams. Please enjoy the NFL theme. Our next tune was played when the Greyhounds gained a first down. We call it First Down. A fun and loud tune from Dragnet was played when the yellow flag was thrown. This has two parts. First, right after the flag was thrown, you hear this. Now, if the penalty happens to be on us, we don't play part two. But once the official starts moving the other team back, the band finishes it. No football game would be complete without our next short stand tune, which features the trumpets. Here is Trumpet Charge. Our next song was finally played after years of waiting. Granted, we only got to play it once, but when the Dogs brought home the victory against Central Crossing, here is Final Countdown. So much for once, I guess. And part of what we do, sometimes you gotta be flexible. They found out 5 minutes before this concert they were gonna play that, and they have not played it since Central Crossing, so not bad for a few months. All right, Final Countdown, thank you. Up next, it wouldn't be the Grove City High School Band if the trombones didn't have their own way of exciting the crowd. Here is the trombone drill. trombones and baritones lead the dogs growling to the race. Katrina and the Waves. Here is Walking on Sunshine. The next theme tune was made famous by Adele and has been a favorite of the band in seasons past. Here is Rollin' in the Deep.
few songs, the last drill, and a couple other tunes. Would you again please help me thank Mr. Dave Gerald for doing a great job of all the announcing throughout the season. There are a couple other staff members I'd like to thank for their work with the students this season. Working with the trumpets this year is Director of Bands at Upper Arlington High School and also a Grove City High School graduate, Mr. Todd Fessler. Would you stand please? And working with our brass section this year, getting her degree in music education from The Ohio State University, please welcome Ms. Jocelyn Smallwood. Also today we are very fortunate to have with us the music arranger of our show, who did an amazing job and was recognized by all of the music judges for his creativity and musical interest in the composition. Jackson Riffle is a graduate of Newton High School and currently attends Rice State University, majoring in percussion and piano performance. Would you all please thank him for the outstanding and amazing show that he constructed musically this year on the arrangements. Jackson Riffle, right now. Mr. Gerald, as we play our last movement of the contest show.
The final movement of the show begins with a familiar rhapsody, Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, featuring Luke Hindesheet on soprano sax. We feature our percussion section once again with Hungarian Rhapsody number 6 and number 2, while trombone soloist Nick Wolf takes center stage. Every section is featured in this movement as it builds to the iconic Grove City push with a rhapsody that needs no introduction. These classical works take on a fresh sound with a flurry of rhapsodic themes as our show comes to a bombastic close. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the conclusion of our 2019 show, Rhapsody.
we paced everything. And it was just slower. We taught a lot slower. We were more methodical in the beginning, and the whole plan was to be done right around the beginning of October, so that the end of the season could be with the big 3 events at the end. And boy, did they bring it in the last 3 weeks. And they improved it. Just a couple announcements here as we get to the end of our program. Again, yes, the Fall Bazaar this weekend, the 9th and the 10th. As soon as Tuesday is done and the elections are over, get those signs out and get the bazaar signs in immediately. Get the word out. We've got to get people here for that. Christmas Parade, that is Saturday, December the 7th. That will be, as usual, here in Grove City, starting at Park Street Intermediate. Goes kind of around the block and comes back. More information will come out later this year, but that is the first Saturday in December, and this year that's the 7th. Santa's Swings Day Supper, as we mentioned, is on the 12th. That's a few days later on a Thursday, held right out here in the cafeteria. Tickets will be out on sale for that very soon, if not already on the internet. Be having your eyes open for that. Also, really want to encourage you to come. And we have great attendance each year, but I know we don't get everybody, and quite frankly, if every one of you came, we wouldn't be able to fit you all. And for the band banquet, it's on Sunday, December the 15th. And it's a time to honor the students and to just celebrate the year's successes while having a meal together. It's a potluck style meal, and there'll be information that comes out to let you know what you bring to that. But again, that is on Sunday the 15th at 5 p.m. right out here in the cafeteria. We do ask that you keep it to just the immediate family only, parents and students. We just don't have quite the room. If everybody was bringing the extended family, we'd run out of room and food very fast. But we would like to see as many of you there as possible and to honor once again the season and the students. I would like to recognize the executive board of the Boosters. If you could please stand when I call your name, and the audience, you can give them one loud clap, just one clap for each name, and then we'll clap for them all at the end. So here we go. Guard trustee, Jessica Dibble. Freshman trustee, John Easendorf. Sophomore trustee, Chad Luna. Junior trustee, Jen McNeil. Senior trustee, Michael Dustin. Past President Bob Long, Statutory Agent Joe Waterman, Treasurer Debbie Funk, Secretary Sayuri Chris, Vice President Mark Bungart, and President Dave Gerald. We give the Executive Board a round of applause. I always like to just mention this, and you know, I've heard on Facebook, and maybe there's already people keeping track of the number of minutes and hours that we all come together to rehearse, and I've kind of heard that, but you know, if you look at our full band practice, only that, just the times that we are together as a full band ensemble practicing in the season that's over this year, it's about 200 hours of full ensemble rehearsal to create what you saw here. And you know how much work it is. You see how hard the students work and how much time is put into this. 200 hours of full band practice, that is students, if we were to do it all in one chunk, that would be about 8 days of 24/7, and you'd be this good, just that fast. In 8 days. If you just have to rehearse every minute of those 8 days, and then you got it. Oh yeah! So next year's band camp will be an 8-day, 24/7. No sleeping. And that's just the numbers are fun. If you put it in terms of man hours, that's 45,000 man hours in this show. That's 2,700,000 man minutes in the show. You want me to do the seconds as well? That's a lot of time given up by a lot of people to do something special. That only can happen when this comes together. And after today, this never happens again. This group will never be together to play the show ever again. They got the Christmas parade, that's their last time as a full ensemble. And that is sad, but it's also special because it's unique. And every year, the ensemble's a little bit different. And they have to meet the challenge and the demand that the group the year before set. And man, did they meet that expectation and exceed it. They did a fantastic job. So we thank the students for all their hard work. Also, our successes today are certainly a result of the past and the history of the people who have come before, both students and directors alike. And we're so thankful to the history and tradition here at Grove City and how strong it is for music. And I would like to take this moment to recognize Mr. Swearingen and Mr. Edge in particular, who were former directors of the school, who did amazing things and establish this greatness that exists here, and we're so thankful to be able to continue that on year to year. Also, many of you in the audience are alumni of this band. If you are an alumni of this organization, would you please stand and be recognized at this time? Olivia, I see you up there. Get on your feet. Let's go, Olivia. Get up. There we go. And Celeste. Thank you, alumni. At this time, we would like to honor all of you, alumni, and students as well, in the playing of the Grove City High School alma mater. Would you please stand? Thanks to so many people that helped make this season a success. Ms. Hannah Launcher, Assistant Director, Mr. Walt Reisberg and his wife Lean, Emily Eber, Chelsea Smith, Jessica Stoy, Jonathan Raynor, and Jackie McCammon, who are outstanding middle school band directors who helped feed this program with their students. Our college staff, camp, and all the chaperones who came to band camp. Our season-long staff who are here with us. And most certainly our squad leaders and section leaders. Would you stand, squad leaders and section leaders? Students, you would not be here today doing the things that you do or the opportunities you have if it weren't for your amazing parents. Would you stand and thank your parents? Students, stand and thank your parents. All right, have a seat. Well, like any other year, this year had many awesome moments and memorable highlights. It was a year where there was a lot of change, and for an upperclassman who's been taught one way for 2-3 years, come in this year and be said, hey, this A, B, C, D, and E are different now, and this is how we're doing it. That's tough to adapt, and these students adapted extremely well to change. They gave an amazing performance early on at the season at the Buckeye Invitational, and did an outstanding job there at a time where we weren't even done with the show yet, as you know. All superior ratings the entire season long from all adjudicators, and truly an amazing and superb performance at Lucas Oil Stadium at the BOA contest. I'll take a quick 2 seconds here to just talk a number or a score with you, because I know many of you were, you went to that, and we told you before we left, don't expect anything, they will get nothing, and that is what happens. Okay? And many of you were still like, but how? It was so awesome, and it was. We are a music organization first and foremost. We put our eggs in that basket. That's the most important thing. And that was very much reflected in how they did. When you look at the scores and you have judges putting them in second place, only behind Avon, who won the entire contest in music individual performance. Judging panels. So out of our panel, who judged half the bands, we had second place from that guy, which is incredible, 6th place overall out of ensemble. And then when you add in the other panel and you do all the averages, to be 5th place in music individual performance out of that entire 84 bands, to be in the finals in music, they were in the finals in the music score, is simply outstanding. So please honor them. And of course, we wouldn't be who we were each year without a great senior class who really are responsible for driving the ship forward and bringing their level of experience to others and pushing it forward. And they had a big shoes to fill, as every senior class does. And I said this earlier at the senior night, but I knew they were a great class at band camp at the last day during the senior walk. And hearing the things that they talked about and the way that they shared stories with each other truly was special and memorable. And they are a great group of seniors who we will dearly miss. And the seniors, please stand and be recognized for all of the time. Well, thank you again for coming today. We have one final song to play for you. We'd like to end it with one of our favorite stand tunes, Land of a Thousand Dances.